Alright, what's going on, people? It's your boy Woozilla, and I know it has been a minute since I've actually done a review, but fuck it, we're here. Today, as you can see in the title, we're going to be talking about this Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now, this is the latest entry into the Call of Duty franchise, and I got to say, it's actually a lot better than what people are portraying it as. It's just a lot of issues with the community itself. We're going to get more into that later on with this review. Now let's go ahead and start from top to bottom. I'm going to tell you all about the campaign, the multiplayer. Of course, we're going to talk about the different game modes within the game, because now this game is actually fully complete in my opinion, so I feel like I can give a complete and total review. And I hope you guys enjoy some of the gameplay in the back while I do this. So let's go ahead and get on into the campaign. Now the Call of Duty campaign is actually refreshing. For it to be complete, like remaster and like a re-envision of like the Call of Duty series or whatever, or story. I don't really know how to put it. It's actually refreshing. It doesn't feel like a dude bro, like, you know, bang bang shooter. Rather, it shows the horrors of war and the different effects on each faction, as well as how everyone thinks that their way is the best way to end the madness. Also, it's rather challenging on medium difficulty. If y'all see my walkthrough on Woozilla walkthroughs, make sure y'all go peep that. Y'all see me rage quit playing that damn game. And I gotta say, the voice acting and everything was actually very good and spot on. Just added bonus to it. There was that sneaking mission that pissed me off, that drove me up a wall, and specifically that was highly irritating, but whatever. But I did enjoy the campaign overall. I would recommend it. So if you were into Call of Duty campaigns but fell off because, you know, it just became all about explosions, things of that sort, I'm here to tell you today that this is actually refreshing, and it's worth the time. It's not too long, it's not too short. It gives you a meaty chunk of gameplay, you know, that has different elements that are remnants, you know, from older CODs that make it feel fresh but fun due to the new gameplay mechanics. And it doesn't drag on too long or whatever, and also has like a little cliffhanger because we already know there's going to be a sequel to this. But it's definitely a great game as far as the campaign goes. The campaign makes it good. Now, as for the multiplayer, I'm going to separate this in between the good and the bad. So for the multiplayer portion, I'm gonna first talk about the side stuff multiplayer. I'm gonna get into like the big multiplayer in of itself. So let's go ahead and just talk about Spec Ops. The game does have cooperative missions that can be played online, and I should mention that the multiplayer actually does have cross-play enabled. I am on PC. The homie Biggie's on Xbox, and Rambo's on PS4, and Agents on PS4, as well as K-Dog's on PS4. I can play with all my friends and whatnot, you know, because crossplay makes it amazing. So kudos to Activision and COD for actually having that enabled for once. Jesus Christ, this needs to be the standard for gaming going forward. But it does have cooperative missions that are hard as hell, but they do reward you with new operators that you can use online, so like new characters or whatever. Even though this is FPS, having a different looking character for whatever reason just feels kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie to you. Warzone. Now this is the battle royale that was pushed off for almost like a month. I want to say like a month from this game's release, roughly. And it's actually good. It's definitely unique compared to the other competition that's out there, you know, the Apex, the Fortnite, the I almost said Plunder, that's a different game mode in the battle royale, but PUBG, things of that sort. It features something called the Gulag. So say if you die within the first, I don't know, I think it's like the first 20 teams, because it's 150 man BR, which is huge. But like if you die like within the first 20 rounds or something like that in that region, you go to this place called the Gulag, where you have a chance to have a 1v1 versus somebody, and you essentially, if you win that 1v1, you come back and you can join your squad. If you lose that 1v1, your squad could buy you back. As I should have mentioned, this game does feature money, so once you kill somebody, or if you go you know, search for loot, things like that, you can get money, which you could use to buy like loot drops, not loot drops, but loadout drops, UAVs, kill streaks, and all this. And while this might sound OP, it's actually not, because it's like a heavy risk and reward type thing. Because if you throw out your loadout drop, which gives you the access to the loadouts that you have already pre-made for multiplayer, it puts a target on your back, because anybody who's in that vicinity can see that drop is on their map, and they could come and pull up and take that drop from you and use it for themselves. UAVs, you know, unleash the spots of opposing players, but at that point it's about how good your gun skill is. Kill streaks, since there's so many buildings in the game, it's a hit or miss with that. So it's not nearly as overpowered as you would think. So the Battle Royale is definitely good. The thing that they got to work on, that they've been working on at the time of this review, is hackers. There's a video done by, I think, Nadeshot. Make sure y'all go check it out because it's crazy. This dude basically had an aimbot hack and wall hacks where he's basically able to see everybody in the game and got like 50 kills and won the game. And when I say aim hack, I mean he was locking onto people who were across the map, like 100+ meters on top of a roof, headshotting them. But apparently Activision's on it. They've been banning people left and right, so that's something good. Next, so let's go ahead and talk about Plunder. Plunder is another game mode that is kind of like a battle royale-esque, because the whole point is to get to $1 million and to basically secure your spot as the top earner in the game. Once you get to like the last, I want to say 2 to 3 minutes, you get, it's like a bonus round, so like you get more money. You start with your own custom kill streak or custom loadout, and you basically go around try to collect contracts so you can get more money. You have to put your money on like little air balloons and send it off. That way you kind of like secure the funds. It's a whole lot that goes into it, and it's definitely a lot of fun because the more money you have, the bigger target you have on your back. So if you're one of the top 5 earners, you basically have like a bag symbol that anybody can see and they can pull up on you. If you're the top earner, it turns into a crown, as well as it picks somebody at random who's marked. So it could be on your squad or anybody, and if they kill that person, you get more money. Well, same thing as if you protect that person, like if he's on your squad or whatever, you keep that money and get money for protecting him. It's a lot, and Plunder's definitely probably my preferred game mode over Warzone, because, not to get too much into the bad, but without destructible environments, people just camp and it becomes so much of a drag and just a roof shooter, and I'm not into that for my Call of Duty. But let's go ahead and talk some more about this damn multiplayer as this game as a whole. Gunplay. The gunplay in this game is fun. It's probably one of my most favorite things about the game in of itself. It's just the gunplay, because it feels rewarding in this game, which is rather odd for a COD where it kind of feels, you know, expected to, you know, get kills. Like, it just seems normal. But in this game, you actually have to stay on your target for a little bit longer than normal, and it feels rewarding to get kills, and it's just fun. Like, the guns all feel different. Like, they feel unique. And that kind of goes into, you know, the multiplayer that I'm going to get into a little bit later. But it definitely feels rewarding. It's definitely fun. And the increased time to kill is what makes it feel more rewarding to me. And not to mention, you know, just the bullet spread and things. That, I don't want to say bullet spread, but like just the effects ended up of like the weapons themselves. It just, something is refreshing about it. I can't really put my finger on, but it's definitely good. The graphics in this game is great. The graphics look great on PC, but even on console it looks good. But that is not without a fault the fact that every time I boot up the game, it needs to install shaders, and I'm not being sarcastic in the slightest. But let's go ahead and talk about the multiplayer a little bit. The good weapon customization. This is the cream de la cream of Call of Duty and what it should be going forward. You can customize your weapon to fit your playstyle, whether you want fast ADS, increased damage, a sneak class, like whatever you want for your weapon, you can basically make it. And that is great. The fact that they realize that the weapon in an FPS is the actual character and like the main thing that you're focusing on, it's probably what makes it great. It's probably the best in franchise history, in my opinion. A bunch of different options and attachments, even weapon perks, gives players the ability to have different weapon variants. Granted, most people follow a trend, and I can't fault the game itself. That's mostly due to the content creators like myself and the bigger ones who make these type of, or make, you know, best weapon videos, this, that, and the third, and everybody follows that trend instead of, you know, being their own person. We ain't gonna talk about that, and blah, blah, blah. But also, there's like weapon stickers you can put on your weapon, as well as camos. There's a shit ton of camos in like the game itself that you can earn from, you know, doing different things like kills while crouching, mounted, hip fire, this, that, and the third. It's great. I love the weapon customization in this game. That's really fun to me. Now let's go ahead and talk about the bad. And ooh man, I got some bad for y'all. I'm gonna basically give y'all my opinion whether you should cop this or not. So the maps are bad and enforce camping. The maps in this game do not complement the Call of Duty style of play, which is fast paced, you know, run around, chicken head cut off, going like Rambo and go, you know, bonkers. You don't get to do that in this game because the maps are just big. They feature a lot of like campy corners and things like that, more than usual, and it becomes very irritating to play these maps because the thing is, everybody in the community and online will swear up and down they don't camp and they hate campers, but every time I boot up a game and I play one of the base Call of Duty maps, not one of the shorter ones that they brought back, I run into campers. So somebody lying here. Just think about that for a second. But the maps are terrible. While I did say the graphics are good, that does not mean that they don't have their issues. I don't know what is up with you know, Infinity Ward with this gray, brown, green color palette, but y'all need to do away with that and add some more vibrance to the game. I get it, y'all trying to stay rooted in realism to an extent, but damn it, you could add some type of vibrance to these maps. That way they're not just all dark, gloomy, and gray, which also helps campers, I might add, because since the maps are so dark and things of that sort, you can hide in corners and people won't be able to see you. If you're on console, I'm gonna go ahead and let out the secret. If you have Elgato or something like that, and you're able to turn up the saturation, I think Big Kid explains better to me, but if you're able to turn up the saturation on your game, the game becomes more vibrant and better to look at. Just letting y'all know that. Turn up the saturation on the game looks better. But let's go ahead and talk about this. So the maps are ridiculously huge for the cost of play, which I mentioned, and quote-unquote safe spaces. This was out of the developers' mouths. They wanted safe spaces to cater to new players, which is dumb. Let these new players get beasted and hold their feet to the fire the same way that the OG fan base has gotten used to this game. That's the way that we all learned to play. We all got beasted because there's always somebody better than us. Stop trying to cater to these noobs. Let the noobs get beasted. Let it happen. Same thing with skill-based matchmaking. Do away with that. Sometimes you got to get pub stomped, and sometimes you got to do pub stomping. I don't understand why you're trying to hold hands. I'm so over this whole everybody can win type attitude in the sense of, you know, participation medal type shit. Do away with that. We don't need participation medals. Let people get beasted. Let people get good. Alright? Alright. So this makes no sense because, like I said, veterans, even casuals who played older CODs, and when I say casuals, I mean like, you know, dads who, you know, played maybe their first COD was Modern Warfare 3, and, you know, they fell off a little bit, but they play here and there. Even those people who know how COD works would hate how people play this game. So from veterans to casuals who got beasted and who have done some beasting, hate the camping. But like I said, there's got to be somebody camping in here, because if everybody swears up and down they hate camping, but every time I load to a game somebody's camping, I'm smelling the cap. But let's go ahead and continue. We all remember great maps, you know. We all remember great map design, even from Black Ops 2 if that was your first one, but I don't understand how you go backwards. Hell, Modern Warfare 3 had some decent maps, I will say that. Like, hell, Ghost. This is an unpopular opinion. It definitely had some good maps. Some good base maps. The DLC maps made it better. So they can make really good DLC maps. There's no reason why they can't make better maps now. You dig what I'm saying? Now, a constant need to install shaders on PC. Now, a lot of these gripes are for PC specifically because that's where I have the game. This is irritating as hell. Every time I boot up the game, it has to install shaders, and I'm not even being sarcastic. It's installing campaign shaders and multiplayer shaders every time I boot up the game. So this is just a sign to me of just poor optimization for PC. If every time I boot up the game, it installs shaders. Whenever I boot up any other game on my computer, it's not installing shaders, not an ounce. So speaking of the optimization on PC, it's atrocious that with every update, and I'm not being sarcastic either, that my game starts to crash at random. With every new update, every new season, my game will just crash. The most scariest shit was when the game first came out, it blue screened my computer. I was literally playing the game, backed out to change some graphic settings, and my settings just, not my settings, but my computer just blue screened. And there have been reports already of this game breaking people's hard drives, blue screen people's computers, I be one of them, etc., etc. Activision, Infinity Ward, there's no excuse for you guys to be developing these games on computers and you can't even optimize them for most computers. Don't have a recommended specs, and if my specs exceed that, it should just work that much better then. It just should. And you have a legacy issue with your games on PC just not working properly. Just because it works doesn't make it right. It should work well. It should work properly. I should be able to boot it up and not have to worry about my computer potentially exploding trying to run the game. I should not have that thought in my head. It's 2020 out here. Technology's gotten better, and it so should have a lot of your skills. So there's no reason why you release a title and you don't make sure it does not work on most builds. And I'm not to say my build's like cream of the crop, high-end, ridiculous, but I have a pretty damn decent build. So it should work, and it should not have no issues running this game at all. I can run this game at freaking ultra and still get about 60 to 70 frames. But that's not without saying that this game will just crash. So that's a problem on y'all side. I hate getting error codes saying I'm having an issue connecting to the servers when I have great internet, a great computer. No, it's your issues with you not optimizing your game properly. This is a known issue. You could look it up on YouTube, Google, or whatever. People's computers have literally been blue screened and have hard drives brick because of this game. Now, as I said, random frame drops. My game has random frame drops, like at random. And keep this in mind, I can run it at ultra, but just so you know, keep it easy on my computer and whatnot, just so I get better and more frames. I run it at about high. Like medium to high, I'm getting at 60 to like 100 plus frames, easy playing this game. Easy, with no problems. But at random, my computer, or this game I should say, it just drops it down to 20 to 30. Sometimes 7. I wish I had a clip of it doing it. But at one point I was playing, I was like at 80, cool, chilling. Next thing I know, it drops down to 7. And you notice a gigantic frame drop like that because it's like you're watching a slideshow. Like I said, in 2020, this is inexcusable, and just overall, I don't want to fully put on the developers for lazy development. To some extent it is, but on another extent, it's them having to probably crunch and have to worry about getting this game out because, you know, investors, publishers trying to get this game out to the masses. So it's 50, I probably say it's about 60-40 because y'all should see this and stress test this a whole lot more than what you do. Now, what else would I want to say about this? Oh, also, if you want to stream or record this game, it has to be on full screen, at least by my experience, because whenever I try having it on borderless, it acts stupid. For whatever reason, if I had this game on borderless, it just doesn't work. It will just start getting very, very choppy. Like the game I'm playing will be fine, it'll be 70 to 100 frames, but on stream is like frame dropping to 13 to 15 to 30 to 60, and when I say 60, I mean like 59 to 60, then dropping right back down to 30 to 20. It's not good. I don't know what this is. If y'all could inform me about this, let me know in the comment section below. But it's just not a good experience for the viewer, and as a streamer who wants to bring high quality streams to my viewers, it's annoying and inexcusable. The oversized map and safe spaces and overly campy gameplay is what makes this game a drag at most times. Now, all in all, I will say this: the Modern Warfare game in of itself is not a completely and totally trash game. Don't let nobody tell you different. I mean, they do have microtransactions in this game, and I'll be honest with y'all, it's actually completely totally optional. Like the weapon variants that they give you in this game is not a weapon variant that you can't make in of yourself. A lot of it is just cool looking camos and just cosmetics. Like they really did leave it strictly cosmetic. I felt like I should mention that. I don't feel the need to buy it. They do have a season pass, but they do have weapons in the season pass that you can actually earn, like new DLC weapons. So if you grind the season pass, you can get the weapons. And they've actually fixed it. That way it's balanced out a little bit. That way if I have a good game, I get more, credit towards it. If I have a bad game, I still get a decent amount. So whether you want to buy the battle pass or not, it's clearly up to you. Same thing with the microtransactions. It's literally nothing to me that makes me look like that make me want to say, oh my god, I gotta have it. It's strictly like, oh, this is dope, I'll get it type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want it, I'm gonna get it. If I don't, I'm gonna skip it. Like, I can say, as of late, I've been enjoying this game because they start to realize that they need to just have specific playlists with just smaller maps, because now everybody's trying to play those huge and god-awful maps. And it works. That's what's been making me enjoy this game. Playing Shipment, Rust, hell, for as much as I hate Shoot House, it's starting to grow on me a little bit. Playing those smaller maps just makes this game that much more enjoyable. They add new playlists almost every other week. They're adding free content the way they said they would in the form of maps and things of that sort, and in new seasons. They're trying to keep this game refreshing and I can rock with it. So I would recommend that if you were to get this game, get it on console. Do not buy this on PC. And if you want to take the risk, be my guest. But make sure that you have a spare hard drive just in case. But I can actually recommend this game. I'm not going to give no number score because that to me is just stupid. But I would say if you're going to buy this game, go right ahead. But I would recommend waiting for it to go on sale because I'm pretty sure it's going to go on sale rather soon. It has a free weekend for the multiplayer almost every other weekend, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have a sale for this game. So if you catch it on sale, go ahead. I recommend this game. All in all, this is definitely a good game. It's just community just makes it irritating more than anything. But with that being said, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I got another one coming to y'all real soon, and I'm actually dead serious about this one too. I already have the script and everything written. I love y'all. Appreciate the support. I'm gonna holla at you later. It's your boy Woozilla, and I'm out. Peace.